If you're here, let me know. I'm not used to using this live feature, but let's talk about it, man. Brandon Ayuk officially designated to a list I had never heard of before. That is a reserve slash left list. It is a list that is reserved for players who are either going to retire mid-season or are basically left your team, officially gone from your team. So let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat what you guys are thinking about this. I'll try and hold the camera steady here. But the news for me is obviously not entirely surprising because of the stuff that's been going on with Brandon Ayuk. But it is disappointing for sure. The 49ers just saw the last of Brandon Ayuk in 2023 against Kansas City Chiefs. That's the last time the Niners will ever see Brandon Ayuk in red and gold. And that's devastating news to me for a player who had so much talent, who the 49ers promised the world for, who Kyle Shanahan ran down the stairs to make sure that he got signed and got extended. It's unbelievable news. I can't believe it. Yeah, he was terrible anyways. I wouldn't say he's terrible anyways. I wouldn't go that far. Now, in terms of attitude, in terms of personality, in terms of work ethic, sure. You want to call him terrible? Like, I'm cool with that. Like, I have no problem with you saying that he was not great, but he's gone. And look, the old school person in me wants to be like, you know what, dude, forget that guy. Like, he quit on the team. He quit on the team. Forget him. Yeah, that's fair, Jet Pilot. Thanks, man. For sure. What's the point of a player who doesn't want to play? So if you're just joining us, the news is basically pretty simple. Brandon Ayuk has been officially designated to the reserve slash left list, a list I'd never heard of before until about 20 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago, whenever it was that I got an update. But the bummer of it is, or the list, I guess, is a list that is designated for players who are going to retire or players who are who've left the team, who've decided they don't want to play. So there you go. The Brandon Ayuk saga is over. It's always over. It's never going to happen ever again. It is very similar to the Devondre Campbell situation, says Mr. Irrelevant doing relevant things. Yeah, it's similar to the Devondre Campbell situation in a way, in the sense that the way that he's designated sure sounds a lot like a guy who just quit on his team, basically. The bummer for the 49ers is they went into the season believing he was going to be a player at this point in the season. This is the part of the season you needed him. So for the Niners to pay him so much money to then during the offseason see an opportunity to get rid of those, to avoid some of those guarantees. The Niners doing the financially, the fiscally responsible thing. Sure, all good moves by the Niners, except for the fact that now this guy's never going to play another snap as a 49er. And this makes it harder for you to trade him, in my opinion, because he quit on the team. So teams know he's on the reserve left list. You're not going to hold on to him and try and trade him. At this point, he's going to be a cut, and that's just a loss for the 49ers. You're not getting anything out of it. That's a huge disappointment for me. A guy who had incredible talent. Like, you can be as frustrated as you want. I'm with you. This is a sucky situation. I see you guys in the chat. I appreciate it. Um, but at the end of the day, this is a talented individual the Niners were willing to pay good money for. So, yeah, I would have loved to see it work out for the 49ers. You heard Brock Purdy, George Kittle in the last couple of days talking about Brandon Ayuk, talking about wanting him back, talking about hoping that he might be able to be back, but not looking good. So I'm super bummed on that. Yes, freed up salary space or salary cap space. True, absolutely fair. Would have liked to get actual play out of the individual as we're looking down the pike of a playoff run here. Definitely a guy that you would have liked to have out there. It's kind of chilly here in Denver, Colorado right now. It shouldn't be chilly, but it kind of is in the shade anyway. I think as far as I am concerned, thinking about a player the Niners had invested in, thinking about that decision Shanahan made to run up those stairs, to go tell John Lynch not to do the trade. Obviously, it goes down as a huge mistake. It goes down as a one of the big. It's not as bad as the Trey Lance one, but it is up there with some of the biggest mistakes of the Shanahan Lynch era. That is a huge disappointment. Um, In terms of whether a lot of you guys are talking about like where he might end up, I do believe teams will take a flyer on him. I don't believe that it's like a done deal that he's not going to end up playing in the NFL ever again. Devondre Campbell might never play a snap in the NFL again, and that's different. I do think Brandon Aiyuk could still end up getting on a team because he's still young enough and has proven in this league what he can do. Um, I'm thinking about, gosh, dude, that play against the Green Bay Packers. I'm wearing yellow right now. Bad time to be talking about the Green Bay Packers. I'm thinking about that play against the Green Bay Packers. That was just or no, not Packers. It was against the Lions. NFC Championship game, like unbelievable play in 2023. He comes out in 2024 and he doesn't look like himself because of the holdout and all of that. And it's easy. It's so easy to just look at that and be like, dude, the writing was on the wall. The guy doesn't have it. He doesn't have the mentality. He doesn't have the attitude. What is going on here? Some chats saying Washington with his buddies. That's a totally fair thought for sure. He'll be in Washington. Promise you, that's where he wants to be. Yeah, that's entirely possible. Terry McLaurin's getting old, right? He needs to get replaced soon, right? He's still playing well, but isn't he getting old? I think he is. If he thinks teams are going to be lining up to sign him, knowing his now perceived reputation, he's in for a rude awakening. Maybe some sorry team will want him either way. A Super Bowl is in a rear view. Yeah, that's interesting. Will he end up on a team that's capable of getting to a Super Bowl? Probably not. I wouldn't think so. But the other thing that's going to be interesting for Ayuk is best case scenario for him is a 1 year. Sorry about the shaky camera there. 1 year prove it deal. So Brandon Ayuk's out there going for a 1 year prove it deal. Um, is he going to be able to play at the caliber that he needs to play at? Is he going to have the mental strength to go in this offseason and actually take everything seriously? I don't know. He's made his money now. I mean, did he lose that drive? We've seen players lose that drive after that. So, oh man, that sucks. And the Niners can't obviously do anything in the trade market right now. So that's closed. So the Niners' only option is to go with what they have right now or try and find a free agent, which isn't out there. So I think obviously the Niners are comfortable with what they have in George Kittle, Brock Purdy. Kendrick Bourne hasn't seen a lot of snaps lately. He was a really good wide receiver for a minute there. So you got that too. Niners going to draft a wide receiver round 1. I know, dude. Cesar, thank you for saying that because I've thought several times, like, does this Ayuk saga put Shanahan in like his favorite place, which is, oh, here we go. We got to draft a wide receiver again. Dude loves to draft a wide receiver. Let's see here. Niners going to draft wide. Okay, yeah. We got to avoid drafting these divas. Dude, that's the hardest thing because these guys, I guess you could say Brandon Aiyuk was a diva before. Do you think Brandon Aiyuk was a diva before the contract situation? Before he had that 2023 season, was he a diva? He definitely was in the doghouse, which definitely has some diva vibes. But I don't know if I thought of him as a diva until the holdout. You say yes, he was. Yeah, that's interesting. Good wide receivers in the draft coming up. Sure. Yeah, I think there are probably how many teams out there desperately need a solid wide receiver? And when I say solid, like Ricky Pearsall's a solid wide receiver. Don't hate on that take. But Ricky Pearsall's not, 6'4", running a 4.3 40. You know what I mean? That's kind of what you want out of a big dude. Now, in Shanahan's system, not as important. You don't need a Megatron in Shanahan's system, but you'd still like to have a big body, good blocking, solid wide receiver who can gain separation. I love Juwan Jennings. I don't think he's going to be a 49er next year. If he is, I would love to be wrong on that, but I don't think he is. So I think it's interesting. But let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you guys for hopping on the live. Ah, golly. Honestly, like how you feel right now, just genuinely. It seems like most of you are fine. Like you're just like, forget this guy. I'm disappointed. I really am. I really went into the season believing that he was going to elevate the play of this team at this point in the season, that he was going to be coming back middle of the season. And as we get into the stretch run, which we're now entering tomorrow, it was going to be a big moment to have Brandon Aiyuk back and healthy. So what do you guys think? So we won without him. Yep, we're 9-4 without him for sure. It'd be nice to have him. That's how I feel. It'd be nice to have him. Sorry, I'm actually shivering outside right now. I should go sit in the sun or something like that, but I got to stay close to the Wi-Fi router. Yeah. Any other thoughts on that? JJ wants more money. Yeah. I don't know. That's the thing that's crazy about JJ. I agree with you, he wants more money. I think we know that without a shadow of a doubt. Is he gonna get it though? Is there a team out there that's gonna pay JJ, that's gonna value JJ the way we do? I think we value him better than most. I think he can fit in a lot of the, like, Shanahan-esque, Shanahan tree offenses, but, yeah, I'm fine, tired of stressing about it, fine keeping JJ back to Niners. No? You don't think there's other teams out there? Cool. Hey, thanks for hopping on, man. I'm actually cold right now, so I'm gonna go inside. BA plays well, but his immaturity off the field is too much drama. Agree. We may get Justin Jefferson. Whoa, dude, that's crazy. That's a crazy take. Haven't had him in about 2 years. Yeah, I feel you. Hey, thanks, guys. It was good. Thanks for hopping on real quick. I had to do one of these. I haven't done one of these in a while, so it was good to do it.